Hello and welcome to class 4 out of this 8-week series on building resilience, capacity, strength, integrity, all to support women's health, particularly through that transitional phase of perimenopause and menopause. So let's get started. Seated on the mat, you can lie down if you like. And we'll just take some time to come and arrive on our mat and in our body. Settling in. Just allowing your external environment to exist in your periphery as you draw your focus and intent into your body and awareness of your breath. Letting your legs be heavy as you lift up through your spine, lifting into the crown of your head. Shoulders down away from your ears, softening into your face. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Just observing the natural flow of your breath in and out of your nose. Following its journey down into your lungs and back out again. Good. And now gradually starting to deepen your breath. Inhaling fully and drawing your breath all the way down into the lower regions of your lungs. And then exhaling, releasing the breath and gently drawing in through your belly to help release any last bits of air. And continuing in this way, just really getting intimate with each breath, letting every breath feel nourishing and whole, replenishing for your body. Soothing for your mind. Just taking a few more rounds of the breath in this way. And one last full breath. Exhaling completely and moving straight into Gauranga breathing for 5 rounds. And as you say the sound, really allowing yourself to rest in this beautiful sacred mantra, resting your mind and heart. So taking a breath in. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. Inhale. Gauranga. Last time, inhale. Gauranga. Come back to your regular breathing pattern, allowing the effects of the mantra to resonate through your mind and heart. And opening your eyes and getting ready for some movement now, starting with our neck, shoulders and spine, and just loosening up all of our joints. So we'll start by dropping your chin forward, and we're going to rock the head from side to side, Just trying to feel into some gentle pulls and tugs through the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. So moving kind of intuitively. Any areas of tension, you can spend a little more time there. Good. And raise your head back to center. And then we're going to bring our shoulders and upper body into the movement. So dropping your chin down over toward your right shoulder, and then head and shoulders drop down, circling across your lap, coming over to the left side and lift up. And going back to center and then changing sides, moving slowly, steadily. Again, just listening to your body. Anywhere you feel those little pulls and tugs, maybe up your spine as well. Spending a bit of extra time there if needed. Good. Let's do one more. This time we'll go down and all the way forward, coming forward over your lap and hanging heavy there for a few breaths. You've got your hands against your knees to prop yourself up as needed. But the more you can lengthen through your spine and let your whole upper body be drawn down by gravity, you'll start to feel that nice pull through all the muscles either side of your spine. And then coming back up to center, all the way back up, coming to sit up straight. Now taking it side to side, going into a gentle twist. Left hand to the right knee, turning to look over your right shoulder as you plant that right hand to the floor, pressing down into both palms. So one palm against your knee, one palm into the floor. And coming back to center, over to the other side. Right hand to the left knee, left hand to the floor behind you. Lift and twisting around to the left. And coming back to center. Now taking it from side to side. Lower one hand to the floor, reaching the other arm up and over. So you're just moving from side to side. And if it feels available to you, building up to the point where you might take your forearm all the way to the floor, still anchoring down through the opposite hip. Getting a nice big side stretch and really working into the spine. Good. And coming back up to center. And over onto all fours. Coming into our beloved cat-cow. Nice, beautiful movement for connecting our breath with our movement. So spreading your fingers and thumbs nice and wide, shoulders stacked above your knees, hips stacked, shoulders stacked above your knees. That would be a sight. Shoulders stacked above your wrists and hips stacked above your knees. Pressing down into your palms so that your shoulders are active. And then moving with your breath as you inhale to tilt your pelvis forward, looking forward, lengthening your spine, and exhaling to tuck your tailbone, tuck the pelvis, chin in toward your chest, press the floor away, rounding your spine in the opposite direction. Now just keep moving from one direction to the other, moving with the natural rhythm of your breath. Good. And maybe exploring a gentle pause between the inhalation and the exhalation, so just a gentle breath retention. And let's do one more each way. Good. And come back to center. Finding a neutral spine as you raise your left leg back, reaching into your back toes so your leg is nice and long. Trying to keep your right hip working down, pressing down into your hands, shoulders are nice and active, opening through your chest, reaching your heart center forward. Seeing if you can lift your leg just a little higher. Feeling the hamstring working, hamstrings. And exhale, lowering your knee to the floor. Inhale, taking the left leg back and up. Hip is working down as you reach back through your toes. Strong through your foundation. And lifting just a little higher. And exhale. Bring your knee to the floor. Taking your knees wide and your big toes together. Walking your hands forward as you settle your hips back to your heels. Taking just a couple of breaths in extended child's pose. Relaxing your spine. Softening into your hips. And press yourself up. Bring your knees together. Hands to the floor, fingers spread nice and wide, and moving into downward dog now. So we're going to tuck the toes and lift your hips high, making your way into the pose kind of gradually. So let's check that our fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide, and then you're pressing the floor away, shoulders nice and active, and feeling your belly draw toward your thighs. Bending through your knees and exaggerating that stretch. So press the thighs, the belly in toward each other. Feel the shoulders lengthening and opening. And then relax, coming back to more of a neutral downward dog position. And we'll focus on the backs of the legs now. So lifting and lowering your heels, alternating from side to side. Good. And lifting both heels high, reaching up into your hips, press the floor away, and then exhale, lowering both heels down toward the floor. Holding here for about 5 breaths. Anytime it feels too much, just coming down to rest on your knees. Two more breaths here, feeling your shoulders working and strengthening. And exhale, lowering both knees to the floor, stepping your right foot forward in between your hands and taking your hands to rest on your thigh. So we'll lifting through the pelvic floor, and then as we exhale, dropping the hips down toward the earth. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, softening the hips down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale. And then inhaling, raising your arms up, shoulders down away from your ears. Gently reach up into your fingertips. So you've got this downward opening through the shoulders here, but lifting the waistline up out of the hips so that your spine is lengthening. Two more breaths here. And as you exhale, lowering your hands to the floor, sending your hips back, straightening out through the front leg, toes working back toward you. Hands to the floor as you fold over your front leg, feeling a stretch through the back of your leg. And release. Both hands to the floor, stepping your right knee back and taking your left foot forward. Taking your hands to your front thigh, and we'll lift and lower with our breath. Inhale, lift through the pelvic floor, lifting up through the midline of the body. Exhale, softening down into the hips. A couple more times. Exhale, moving with your breath. Exhale, now holding the lunge position. And inhaling, raising your arms up, lifting through your spine. Inhale, reach, and exhale, lowering your hands to the floor, and sending your hips back. Palms are still pressing to the floor as you fold over your front leg, toes reaching back toward you. Good, one more breath here. And stepping the foot back. Coming back to sit on your heels, turn your palms up, take a breath. All right. coming up to stand on your knees. If you have sensitive knees, just taking a blanket or a cushion under your knees, making sure it's stable though. We're going to go into gate latch pose. So taking a right leg out to the side. And we want to try and keep our shoulder, hip, and knee stacked. So leg is out to the side, pointing your toes, sole of your foot to the floor. Sliding your right hand down your right leg and inhaling the left arm up and over as you fold over to the right. So you get a nice big stretch and opening through the left side of the body, contraction through the right side, and working on having a nice strong right leg. So your thigh is active, pointing into that toe so that your calf muscles are active as well. Good. And inhale, come up. Bring the knees together. And step the left foot out. Sole of the foot toward the floor, toes pointing down, firm the thigh. Inhale, raising the right arm up. Exhale, sliding the left hand down the left leg, reaching up and over. Settling into your breath. And inhale, rise up, come back to center, and sit on your heels, take a breath. Beautiful. Now come to stand up at the top of your mat, and we'll go through 3 rounds of sun salutations. Just taking it in your own stride, going at a pace that suits you and modifying as needed. Anytime you need to rest, just doing so. Standing with your feet together or hip distance apart, grounding down through your feet and reaching up into the crown of your head, arms down by your sides. Inhaling to raise your arms up, bringing your palms together above your head, looking at your thumbs. Exhaling, soft bend through your knees for our first one, folding forward, hands to the floor. Forward fold. Inhale, sliding your hands up your shins, flat back, straightening through the legs. Exhaling, bending through the knees, hands to the floor, jumping or stepping back into plank position. And with your elbows drawing in, option to lower your knees to the floor and dive the chest down, or just lower down from plank. Inhaling into cobra for our first one, elbows working in. Exhaling, lowering the chest and the head. Knees to the floor, tuck your toes, pressing yourself back into downward dog, holding for 3 breaths. Taking your time with each breath. Exhale completely. And in between emptying out your lungs and before taking your next inhalation, stepping your feet forward, then inhale into flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Continuing, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward, maybe straight legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling cobra or upward dog. Exhaling, lifting back into downward dog. Settling in for 3 breaths. Exhaling completely, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms come together. Exhaling, arms down by your sides. Last one, inhale, reaching up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, downward dog. 3 breaths. Press the floor away. And long through your spine, lifting into your hips, lengthening down into your heels. 1 more breath here. Looking between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Beautiful. All right. Starting in chair, we're going to move through a short sequence here. If you would like to use blocks at all for your standing forward folds, just having them ready and available at the top of your mat for placing your hands on when we go through the forward fold movements. All right, starting in chair position. So we're going to go feet together first, lifting up nice and tall, sweeping the arms down by the legs and bending the knees, coming down to sit in an imaginary chair. Reaching your arms up by your ears, or if that feels too strong, just bringing them to prayer position in front of your heart. And not being afraid to challenge yourself to sit down into your hips, drawing in through your belly to protect your lower back. And now pressing down through your feet, sitting into your hips, lengthening through your spine up into your fingertips. Holding here for a couple more breaths, feeling your legs working and strengthening. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Lower the arms and come up to stand. Stepping your feet hip distance apart, hands to your hips, lifting tall and folding forward. If you're feeling any restriction or overly tight through your lower back or hamstrings, bringing a soft bend into your knees. Option to then take your blocks under your hands. We're going to go through a series of half lifts here. So folding forward, then inhale, lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And holding here for another 5 breaths. So up to you how you'd like to hold today. If you're feeling like you want a little bit more of an assertive position, hooking your first 2 fingers around your big toes or taking your hands around your ankles and actively drawing your upper body in. If you think, nope, I need a little bit of gentleness and softness today, softly bend through your knees, lay your belly over your thighs, cradle your elbows, and hang forward. We'll stay here for just a couple more breaths. And release. Taking your hands to your hips, soft bend through your knees, press yourself up to standing. And give yourself some time after being inverted, just allowing everything to balance out. Beautiful. Okay, ready for our standing series now. If you like to use a block for side angle pose, make sure you have your block handy. So we'll start sideways on the mat, stepping our feet out wide. Turning the right toes out. And aligning your front heel with the middle of your back foot. Getting ready for warrior 2. And your back toes are turned in just slightly so that the outer edge of your foot is running parallel to the end of the mat. And we'll start with our foundation, so bending through your knee, stacking your knee above your ankle. And you might need to move your feet a little wider as you drop down into that bend. And don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Going deep into that bend. And then stacking your shoulders above your hips. Inhaling, raising your arms out to shoulder height, turning to look just beyond your right fingertips. So just check that you're not reaching forward or leaning too far back. Really trying to stay that nice upright position, lifting the ribs out of the waistline as you sink down into that front leg. Shoulders down away from your ears and actively reaching out into your fingertips. 2 more breaths here. Feeling your hips and legs working. All right, let's take it back through reverse warrior, sliding your back hand down your back leg, reaching your right arm up and over your head. And exhaling, coming forward now into side angle. So maybe you're resting your forearm on top of your thigh, or perhaps you have a block under your hand for support, or maybe hand to the floor. And then we'll take the left arm, sweeping it down by the floor, fingertips brush by the mat, and sweep the arm up alongside the ear. Keep actively pressing down into that back foot. Gently lifting through the pelvic floor so that you're not collapsing into your hips. 2 more breaths. All right, leading up with the top fingertips, pressing down into that right foot, and come all the way up to standing. Turn the right toes in, take a breath. And turn the left toes out, aligning the heel with the middle of the back foot. Back toes in slightly. And then carefully, gently leading into bending through that left knee, stacking the knee above the ankle. And when you feel like your foundation is strong and you're ready to go full expression of the pose, taking your arms out to the side, shoulders down away from your ears, reaching out into your fingertips. And seeing if you can challenge yourself to drop just a little deeper. Pressing down strongly into both feet. And taking it back. Nice big inhale as you reach the arm back. And exhale, coming forward. Either forearm to the floor, hand to a block, or hand to the floor just outside your foot. Sweeping the right fingertips by the floor and circling the arm up. Good, holding here. One more breath here. Inhale, come all the way up. Turning your toes in, lower your arms. Heel toe your feet back together, and we'll take a rest. Breathing in and out. Give your legs a little shake. And stepping your feet out wide again for triangle pose. Turning your right toes out and your left toes in. Inhaling your arms out to the side, sending your hips over to the left, activating through your right leg. Again, just thinking of your foundations first, pressing down into your feet. Legs are switched on, navel drawing in, and then reaching over to the right as you lower your hand down to your foot, floating the left arm up. And as your legs are working, your torso is also really switched on. And you've got this nice active reach through your upper body and through your hands and arms in opposite directions. Three more breaths here. Nice, slow and steady flowing breath. bending through that front knee, lifting all the way up, turning your toes in, turning the left toes out. Switching on through your legs, getting that foundation in place first, and then reaching the arms out, sending your hips to the right as you lower your hand down to your left ankle, or the floor, or a block. Reaching up into the top arm, staying nice and active in the pose. And release, bending through the front knee, coming all the way up to standing, turning the toes in, lowering your arms. We'll come forward now into a wide leg standing forward fold. Taking your hands to your hips, setting up for the pose by lengthening your spine, hinging forward, and maintaining that nice long spine as you descend toward the floor, taking your hands to the floor. Making sure your toes are turned in slightly so the outer edges of your feet are running parallel to the edges of the mat. And as you fold forward, maybe the crown of your head meets the floor. If not, just hands to the floor, walking your hands underneath your body. Drawing your upper body into that space in between your legs. Taking it from side to side here, so coming into a half lift, hands to the floor, lengthen your spine, and then folding over to the left leg. So taking hold of your left ankle and drawing your upper body in toward your left leg. Holding here for a few breaths. And release, walking your hands back to center and over to the right. And coming back to center. Staying in a half lift, take a breath. And then bringing your hands to your hips, bending through your knees. Inhale, lift up. Heel toe your feet in toward each other. Bringing your heels under your hips, toes pointing out. And taking your time here, so just being really mindful of your ankle and hip mobility as we lower down into Malasana or garland pose. Dropping your hips down toward your heels and settling in. And if that feels a little restrictive through your ankles, you can always take a cushion or something to fill that gap under your heels so that your heels can relax down to a surface. Pressing your elbows into your knees, palms together, and your thumbs working into your chest bone, shoulders down away from your ears, holding here for just a few more breaths. Good. Release. Carefully lower your hips to the floor with as much grace as possible. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide, taking hold of your feet, coming into butterfly. Gently pressing your knees down toward the floor, and then folding forward over your feet, dropping your elbows to the insides of your knees, pressing your knees down toward the floor. So as we move now into more seated postures, starting to relax, draw inward more. And lift up, extending your right leg out, bringing your left foot to the inner thigh, left foot to the right inner thigh. And then inhale, sliding your right leg, right arm, right hand down your right leg, and inhaling the left arm up and over. Reaching for your toes. Good. And lifting up. Twisting around to the right, so taking your right hand to the outside of your left knee and your left hand behind you. Gently pressing into your knee, turning to look over your left shoulder. Now, if you feel up to it, I've got a little bit of limited space here, so it might look a bit awkward. I'll just twist a bit, rotate around a bit. If you feel up to it, planting that left hand to the floor, and we're going to roll over onto our shin, lifting the hips up, pressing up through the hips, opening up through your chest. Nice, big, expressive, feel-good lift. And exhale, lower the hips to the floor. Good, let's change sides. Bringing the right foot in and the left leg out. And sending the left hand down the leg, reaching the right arm up and over. Settling into your breath. Inhale, lifting up. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, going into a twist. And then planting that right hand down, rolling over onto your shin and lift up. Lifting the hips forward, opening up through the chest. Exhale, release. Come back to center. I'll take both legs out now into a wide-legged position. Flexing your toes back toward you. And walk your hands forward with a nice long spine, hinging from the hips. It's okay if you round through your back a little, just so long as you're not straining. And then start to walk your hands forward, folding forward. Propping yourself up wherever you land, so it might be propping yourself up with your hands or forearms to the floor, maybe stacking your fists on top of one another, or if you want to explore, just folding forward wherever feels appropriate for you. So good to move in these externally rotated positions with our hips open, because so much of our life is, ladies, we keep our legs closed, we're walking back and forth, we cross our legs when we sit. So our hips have this wonderful range of motion, and it's move it or lose it. So if we can spend a bit of time each day in positions like this, it's really good for our hip longevity. 2 more breaths here. Now pressing yourself up. And we're going to bring the left leg in, so bending through the knee, taking that as your lower leg, and then placing the right foot over the top to the outside of the left thigh, coming into a position for a spinal twist. Hugging your knee in, grounding down through both hips, and then taking your left hand to your right knee and right hand behind you. I love to use a block for my hand behind me because I have a long spine and short arms, like a T-Rex. Turning to look over your shoulder, and if you feel you can go a little deeper into the twist, taking your elbow to the outside of your knee, pressing down into that backhand as you twist through your spine, opening up through your chest, softening through your belly to allow for the twist. And release back to center. You could just switch your legs over if you like, but for the sake of it feeling novel and fun, I'll show you another optional transition. Taking your hands to the floor over to the left, and you're going to press down into your feet. So you're taking the weight into your hands and feet as you lift your hips, swivel around on the balls of your feet, walking yourself around to the other side, bending through that right knee and finding yourself on the other side. Okay. All right, first getting your seat nice and firm, grounding through your hips. Hug your knee in. Right hand to the left knee. Taking your left hand behind you, planting it down to the floor, and start to spiral around to the left. Further still, taking your elbow to the outside of your knee, opening up through that right palm, and turning to look over your left shoulder. Good. And release. Unravel your legs, sitting with your legs crossed for a moment. Take a breath. All right, coming over onto your belly, chest to the floor, head to the floor, lengthening back into your toes. We'll go through some cobra spinal waves, and then we'll be coming over onto our back to start winding down our practice. So hands underneath your shoulders, forehead to the floor, elbows working into the insides of your ribs, to your ribs. Inhale, lift, and moving up through cobra, then exhaling to lower down. Moving with your breath. Inhale, lifting up. Trying to move in a bit of a wave-like motion. Again, inhale, lift. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this last one will hold. Inhale, lift. Elbows working in, pressing down into your palms. Gently squeezing through the glutes to help support the lower back. And visualize your spine lengthening all the way from your sacrum up to your upper back and neck. Broadening through your collarbones, shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, lower down. Knees to the floor, press yourself back into child's pose, taking your spine in the opposite direction. Hips to your heels, forehead to the mat, arms down alongside your body. And gently rock your hips from side to side. Good. One more breath here. Lifting your head and chest. Sitting up and coming over onto your back. Bringing both feet to the floor with your heels in nice and close toward your hips. Arms down alongside your body, palms down, sliding your shoulders down away from your ears. Pressing your big toes into the floor and then tuck your tailbone. Inhale, lift, making an angle of your body. So starting with that sort of stage 1, heels stacked under your knees, hips and shoulders aligned. And if you feel you can go further, interlocking your hands underneath your body, drawing your shoulder blades together and lifting up. Lift through the chest, lift the hips, pressing down firmly into your feet and forearms. Breathe and hold. Seeing if you can lift just a little higher for our last few breaths. And then begin to release out of the pose, unravel your shoulders and hands, lowering your spine to the floor, one vertebra at a time, and your hips are the last to come down. And relax for a moment, allowing your knees to fall in toward each other. Hugging your knees into your chest. Give them a little squeeze. Lifting your forehead up toward your knees, lengthening your tailbone down toward the floor. And release, feet to the floor. Taking your feet out as wide as the mat and rocking your knees from side to side, starting with small movements and then gradually moving into Perhaps taking your knees all the way to rest on the floor. And up and over to the other side. One more time each way. And come back to center. Take a breath. And straighten your legs. Arms down by your sides, palms up. Coming into Shavasana. So before we go into full relaxation mode, before you grab any props, just taking about five breaths in classical Shavasana. Noticing how your mind and body feel after your practice. Just taking a moment of appreciation for our body, all it does for us, and our mind, as much grief as it brings. It's all part of the package. And a moment of gratitude for the yoga system, all it brings to our lives. Giving us the opportunity to create true harmony in our mind, in our body, cultivation of deep spiritual understanding and love. All wonderful supports in our journey through life and all the transitions we experience that can be a little tumultuous, like perimenopause and menopause. It's helping to be that constant state of refuge for us. So now if you'd like to make yourself comfortable for relaxation, and place a bolster under your knees, cushion under your head, maybe a blanket, or cover your eyes to block out the light, making yourself comfortable and settling in. And as you're becoming more familiar with the relaxation process, I'll start to use less instruction over the coming weeks. So we'll still go through a full guided relaxation, but just giving you more space to genuinely relax and unhook from external sensory experience, including my voice. So starting by taking your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relax your toes, the soles of your feet, and feel your heels to be heavy as they rest against the floor. Softening your ankles and softening into your calf muscles. Feeling your shin bones to be heavy. Relax your knees, the knee joints and all the tissues surrounding your knee joints. Relax your thighs, the tops of your thighs, your hamstrings, your inner thighs and outer thighs. Relaxing your left hip and your right hip. Softening into your pelvis. And softening into your whole abdominal region. from your lower belly to your midsection around your navel, all the way up to your diaphragm. Feel the sides of your body relaxing as if they're melting downward toward the floor. Relax into your chest, your ribs and the muscles in between each rib, and your lungs. Softening into your heart center. And then relax into your shoulders. Releasing any tension held in your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. Relax your upper arms, elbows and forearms, softening into your wrists and hands. Moving your awareness to your lower back, feeling your sacrum softening and relaxing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feeling all the muscles either side of your spine relaxed, releasing any tension. Your head is heavy as it rests against the floor. Your eyes are getting heavier and heavier. Relax your jaw and mouth. Your face is soft. Your entire body is heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm, and easily able to drift into a deep state of relaxation. The body is relaxed. Your mind is relaxed. Staying in that nice state of awareness, supported by the heaviness in your body and the relaxed state of mind. And just giving yourself a couple of minutes here to rest in silence. Nothing else to do and nowhere else to be, just rest. And now bringing awareness to your breath. Just noticing your breath without changing it. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe. And gradually starting to deepen your breath. And we'll move into 5 rounds of very relaxed Goranga breathing. So meditating on the sound, but just saying the sound audible enough that you can hear it. So it can be nice and gentle and soft. Just going in your own time, starting whenever you're ready. Goranga. 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 Come back to your regular breathing pattern and start to wake up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes. Rocking your head from side to side and stretching out into your limbs. And then rolling over onto your side and taking your hands under your cheek like a little pillow. Rest for a moment. And then press yourself up to sit with as little disruption to your body as possible. And we'll close off our practice by bringing our palms together in prayer position, bowing to offer our respects to each other, and bowing once more to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste.